Luigi's Mansion has changed the way we look at everyone's favorite second banana. Mario's scaredy-cat brother has been catching ghosts since 2001, but plenty of those ghosts have stories of their own. Luigi's Mansion 3 is finally out, so before you run off and bust all those new ghosts with Luigi, we're running through all of the lore of Luigi's Mansion and its ghostly residents. King Boo and the Mansion. First of all, we gotta talk about the mansion itself. Turns out the entire mansion is an illusion created by King Boo as part of his grand designs. He unleashed his forces on the lab of supernatural scientist and ghost catcher Professor E Gadd. E Gadd trapped a bunch of ghosts inside paintings. So King Boo was on a quest to reverse the professor's ghost portrificationizer and free the ghosts, including the powerful Boolossus. After rescuing his comrades, King Boo creates the mansion next to the lab to lure Mario and Luigi in and exact revenge for all of the Boos the brothers stomped in their adventures. Mario and Luigi receive a letter informing them that Luigi has won a mansion from a contest that he never entered. Sweet deal, right? No, obviously a scam, you guys. This is like those emails you get from a minister of a foreign country who wants your blood type. Do not give them your blood type. Nonetheless, our gullible hero packs his bags and heads to Boo Woods to meet up with his brother and move into his new pad. But when he gets there, Mario is nowhere to be found. When Luigi enters the mansion, a ghost attacks him right away. Luigi basically just cowers in fear, but thankfully E Gadd is there to save him. The professor then fills Luigi in on King Boo's plan, telling him that King Boo has already used the portrificationizer to trap Mario. E Gadd gives Luigi the Poltergeist 3000, a high-tech vacuum designed to fight and capture ghosts, as well as the Game Boy Horror, a gizmo that lets Luigi communicate with E Gadd and analyze ghosts. He tasks him with exploring the mansion, recapturing the portrait ghosts, and defeating King Boo to free his brother. So, Luigi runs into a lot of ghosts throughout the mansion. Lots of them are just generic spooky ghosts of different colors, but the portrait ghosts have their own backstories. The family. Neville, the bookish father, is the first portrait ghost Luigi encounters. A bookworm at heart, he spends his time in his study poring over all of the books he never got a chance to read while he was alive, which seems like a pretty good way to spend the afterlife, actually. He looks a lot like Nigel Thornberry. After Luigi captures him, he finds Neville's wife, Lydia, the mirror-gazing mother. Obsessively vain, Lydia loves her own reflection, and she's grooming her hair when Luigi encounters her in the master bedroom. At least she's frugal. She's keeping her life savings hidden so she'll be ready in the afterlife. She'll need it too. Babies are expensive, especially when they're spoiled like her son, Chauncey, the spoiled baby. He's the youngest member of the family and by far the most powerful that Luigi faces. Unlike his parents and brothers, he was born a ghost, however that works. But it makes sense that he has a supernatural talent for scaring people, more so than anyone in his family. Prone to fits and tantrums, Chauncey fights Luigi using his toys and bouncing attacks. Once Luigi catches him, he delves further into the mansion. Much later, Luigi plays a game of hide-and-seek with Chauncey's older brothers, Henry and Orville, the twin brothers. They love hide-and-seek. But here's the trouble. Neither of them play as the seeker. They're both used to just hiding indefinitely. So once Luigi finds them, the boys accuse him of cheating and attack him. Naturally, two ghosts who can't grasp the concept of hide-and-seek pose no challenge for Luigi. Area 2. After he enters the second area of the mansion, Luigi finds himself face-to-face with the floating Whirlindas, the dancing couple. They were once a pair of championship ballroom dancers, but they're disqualified from any future competitions because they don't have feet to touch the floor with. And boy, are they mad about it. Wouldn't you be? Look, I don't know how they died, but it's too bad that Madame Clairvoyante, the freaky fortune teller, couldn't warn them before it was too late. Unlike the other portrait ghosts, Madame Clairvoyante wants to help Luigi when he meets her in the fortune teller's room. She uses her magic crystal ball to see the future, nearly 49 days ahead. In the mansion, she predicts events to aid Luigi on his quest by examining some of Mario's objects that Luigi brings her. When she eventually predicts Bowser's return, Clairvoyante asks Luigi to suck her up and return her to her portrait, where she'll be safe. Luigi finds Shivers, the wandering butler, roaming about the mansion searching for his deceased master's last will and testament in the hopes that he will be in it. Shivers has a terrible fear of fire, so Luigi uses his fears against him by lighting the candle he holds, causing the ghost to panic and light himself on fire. From there, he's wide open for Luigi to capture. Jeez, poor guy. Not only that, but Shivers also has an unrequited crush on fellow portrait ghost Melody Pianissima, the beautiful pianist. Luigi encounters Melody in the conservatory, where he plays a bunch of instruments. Suddenly, she appears and compliments his music. Melody is surly and self-absorbed, but has otherworldly piano playing skills. I mean, she does have an eternity to practice, so Come on. She also loves video games, apparently. She'll play some songs from past Super Mario games on her piano and quiz Luigi on what they are. Too bad Melody is a bit of a music snob. If Luigi guesses wrong, she'll chew him out about how he insulted the beautiful piece she played. Well, Luigi has the final word when he finally catches her. A bunch of the portrait ghosts have unexplained deaths, but there's no question about how Mr. Luggs the glutton went out. In life, Mr. Luggs had an appetite so big he ate himself to death. And even as a ghost, he shows no signs of stopping. He's basically a ghost version of Mr. Creosote, even down to his haircut. Ruining his buffet causes him to become enraged, quickly tiring himself out for Luigi to capture him. When Luigi approaches the mansion graveyard, Spooky, the hungry guard dog, starts chasing him around. Just like Mr. Luggs, Spooky will chomp at anything that looks edible, and he sees Luigi as his latest chew toy. All the racket causes a skeleton ghost named Mr. Bones to rise from the grave and investigate the commotion. Sure enough, capturing him leaves a bone on the ground, distracting Spooky long enough for Luigi to get the drop on him. With the guard dog captured, Luigi proceeds to the boss of the graveyard, Bogmire, the cemetery shadow. With a name like that, this slimy, shapeless thing has to be the most terrifying ghost in the whole mansion. And for good reason. See, unlike the other portrait ghosts, Bogmire isn't the spirit of a deceased soul. Instead, he is an incarnation of the fear, despair, and general bad vibes around the mansion. If that wasn't bad enough, Bogmire doesn't even know what to fear or despair. This poor thing is going through an existential crisis. We need a hot bath for them, like Spirited Away levels hot bath. Area 3. Okay, so Bogmire has a lot going on, but Biff Atlas, the bodybuilder, is much simpler. Luigi finds him pumping iron in the mansion's rec room. He doesn't attack Luigi right away, but using his punching bags without permission will set him off real quick. It's no surprise that Biff loves muscles, especially his own, but he also has a soft spot for lilies. To Biff, lilies symbolize purity. Miss Petunia, the bathing beauty, is a former Miss Ghost runner-up, but the afterlife hasn't been kind to her over the past 6 years. She's put on a few pounds since then, and the pig snout and hooves aren't doing her any favors. When Miss Petunia's taking a shower, Luigi pulls her curtain away, and she's understandably pissed. Chilling her piping hot shower with an ice blast is the only way for Luigi to cool her down enough to be vacuumed. Nana, the scarf knitting granny, figured that out a long time ago when she pranked Petunia by dropping ice in her bath. As is the oldest ghost in the mansion, she spends her afterlife knitting a scarf she failed to finish when she was alive. Now that scarf is an impressive 871 feet long. That kind of project takes a lot of time. So Nana attacks Luigi when he messes with her precious yarn. Slim Bankshot, the lonely pool shark, is an icon in the billiards world, even though his only competition is other ghosts. Luigi faces off with him in the mansion's billiards room. He weakens Slim by launching his pool balls right back at him. Proceeding further into the mansion, Luigi battles Boolossus, the jumbo ghost, a behemoth even larger than King Boo himself. The Boolossus is like a haunted megazord of 15 Boos joined together. Though Boos are inherently shy creatures on their own, they know there's power in numbers. All their fears disappear when they combine their powers to become Boolossus. By separating the Boos that compose this colossal boss, Luigi is ultimately able to capture this lifeless leviathan. Area 4. The first ghost Luigi encounters in the final area of the mansion is Uncle Grimly, Hermit of the Darkness. He's probably related to Neville and Lydia's family, but Grimly prefers to keep to himself, practicing his scary poses in the mirror. When a lightning strike cuts the power to the mansion, Grimly finally pops out in the wardrobe room and tries to scare Luigi, but without success. Man, even Luigi isn't scared of this guy. Good thing he has an eternity to improve his scaring technique. After turning the power back on, Luigi encounters the Clockwork Soldiers, the toy platoon in the Clockwork Room. These toy soldiers once belonged to an avid toy collector, but no one knows how they became ghosts. Were they even alive in the first place? All we know is that they're mean, and they don't like being looked at. Sue P., the dozing girl, can be found sleeping in her room. Supposedly in life, she took a nap that she never woke up from, and now spends her time snoozing through eternity. Also, she made a promise to never wet the bed, so to wake her up, Luigi has to spray her with water. From there, Luigi's all clear to capture her. Jarvis, the jar collector, is a weird ghost with a Scottish accent who can be found in the ceramic studio. As his name suggests, he is often obsessed with his collection of antique jars, so much so that he lives in one of them. Luigi can capture him by besting him in a whack-a-mole-esque duel. If I had to guess, I'd say Sir Weston, the chilly climber, met an icy end while on a dangerous expedition. Even so, his love for the cold follows him long into the afterlife. Luigi meets him locked up in the cold storage of the mansion. All it takes is a conveniently placed campfire, and Sir Weston warms up enough to be vacuumed. Vincent van Gogh, the starving artist, is a spirit who failed to sell a single painting in his 30-year career. My literal life fear. As far as I can tell, he does have both ears. He's probably the one who made the generic blobby ghosts that have been floating around the mansion. So, after seeing Luigi vacuum up his art, he decides to take his frustration out on the Green Crusader. Too bad his lust for revenge isn't enough to keep from being captured by Luigi. Everyone's a critic. I'm so sorry. With all the portrait ghosts in the mansion captured, Luigi is able to enter the secret altar for a showdown with King Boo. He chases the malevolent monarch into the portrait that Mario is trapped in, only to find out it's actually a portrait of Bowser. Luigi battles King Boo and his giant Bowser effigy before expelling him from the illusion and kicking his ghostly butt. With King Boo finally captured in a portrait, Luigi returns his brother's portrait to Professor E Gadd, who is able to free Mario from his painted prison. As a reward for Luigi's hard work, the professor uses all the treasure he had found over the course of his adventure to construct a brand new, not haunted mansion for Luigi to live in, and our hero lives happily ever after. Well, until the next game. Dark Moon. Sometime after the events of the first game, Professor E Gadd is researching the friendly ghosts of Evershade Valley. He probably got the funding when he sold King Boo's portrait at a garage sale. Wait, what? Well, E Gadd totally dropped the ball because King Boo breaks free and shatters the dark moon hovering above the valley. Now, those friendly ghosts are all aggressive. While he's at it, King Boo also captures Mario in a portrait again and prepares an army of the undead to conquer the Mushroom Kingdom. To clean up the mess that's totally his fault, E Gadd recruits a reluctant Luigi to investigate the 6 mansions in the area and recover the Dark Moon fragments. After gathering the pieces, Luigi once again defeats King Boo, reassembles the Dark Moon, frees Mario, and turns Ghosts of Evershade Valley friendly again. The day saved, Luigi returns home with his new friend, Polterpup, a ghost puppy that Luigi encountered along his adventure. Now that Luigi's Mansion 3 is here, I'm excited to see where the story goes. I know that King Boo has imprisoned Mario, again. You'd think he'd learn to catch Luigi first. But this time around, King Boo also has Princess Peach and several toads in his clutches. Luigi will have to utilize his new spectral companion, the gelatinous doppelganger, Gooigi, in order to save his friends from the ectoplasmic Emperor. I leave the rest of the story up to you. If you're playing Luigi's Mansion 3, let us know how you're liking it. Also, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the leaderboard. All players are welcome here, even the ghostly ones. It's me, Sydney. I've been your host. Thanks for watching.